We're live from Joliet, Illinois, the Harlow Lockwood softball field here at the Inwood Sports Complex, where the University of St. Francis takes on St. Ambrose University in another big CCAC matchup. Terry Bonadonna along with you today on the play-by-play for today's game, a big conference matchup between the first place Fighting Saints and the third place Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose. Saints come in with a record overall of 22-6 and 11-1 in conference, remaining a half game ahead of Olivet Nazarene with one game to go against the Tigers this year. St. Ambrose hanging in there, third place in the conference. They are 21-9 overall, 7-3 so far this year in the CCAC. So a big one today as St. Ambrose leads things off in the top of the first. Julie Trelicoso, the right fielder, bats first and takes strike one from Morgan Derringer. We are underway at 5:03 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Morgan Derringer has been the best in the conference this year. 16 wins on the season, only 2 losses, and she misses low and away on Trelicoso for ball one. She's got a 1.45 ERA in her 21 games pitched, including 16 starts today. 17th start of the year for the senior ace. That ball slapped right at the third baseman, Caitlin Rolniak, who reaches up over her head and makes the grab on the fly for out number 1. Nice play by Rolniak for the first out, and that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, second baseman Meg Balaguer. Balaguer wearing number 5 on her back, a right-handed hitter. First pitch from Derringer is taken for strike 1. Let's look at the rest of the numbers on Derringer. She's pitched 120 and a third innings, including 11 in a win in her most recent start when she picked up her 5th shutout of the season on Tuesday. In those 120 and a third innings, she's allowed 33 runs, 25 of them earned on 94 hits, with 154 strikeouts and 35 walks. She's allowed a .211 opponent's batting average. She's ahead of Balaguer 0-2, but misses outside for ball 1. Derringer was outstanding 2 days ago on this field when the Saints went to extra innings and defeated Olivet Nazarene 1-0. Fouled back by Balaguer, still 1-2. She picked up her 5th shutout victory of the year and was able to hang in there despite some trouble late in the game and allow the offense to pick her up in the bottom of the 11th. Fly ball left field foul and out of play. Meg Balaguer, the number 2 hitter for St. Ambrose, hitting .305 for the season. She has started all 31 games for the Bees this season. 6 runs driven in, 4 extra base hits. They've all been doubles. Get to the rest of the lineups after this at bat. And it'll last just this pitch as it's popped up on the infield. Jensen Torzinski is under it and makes the catch. 2 down. We've already heard from Julie Trelicoso and Meg Balaguer. Rest of the lineup for St. Ambrose. Their number 3 hitter, standing in right now, center fielder Tina Pembroke. Batting 4th, first baseman Morgan Krieger. Lexi Carlston is in left field. At third base, batting 6th, Ryan Friend. Hitting 7th is the catcher, Madeline Thompson. Kaiten Pika Johnson hits 8th. She's the designated player. And batting 9th is their starting pitcher, Ashley Yatoni. A ball is hit in the air, shallow left field. Haley Length steps in, makes the catch, and ends the inning. Nice frame worked by Morgan Derringer. 1-2-3 go the Bees in the top half of the first inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Saints coming up in a scoreless tie. No score after half an inning of play. Morgan Derringer set him down in order in the top of the first. In the bottom of the frame, Anna Weatherall will lead things off for St. Francis, playing center field. Batting second is the second baseman, Brooke Carricker. Allie Belandis hits third. Belandis is the catcher. Designated player Kayla Garcia hits cleanup. Batting fifth, first baseman Jensen Torzinski. Ashley Gallison is at first base. Haley Length hits seventh and plays shortstop. Or Haley Length rather, playing left field and batting seventh. Caitlin Rolniak is at third base and batting ninth. Right fielder Paige Egan. Ball one up high on Anna Weatherall facing Ashley Yatoni. Starting pitcher for St. Ambrose. Yatoni, a reliable starter for the Bees over the last several seasons. Fires in a strike and the count evens up 1-1. Yatoni, senior from Bettendorf, Iowa, starting for the team leading 15th time this year. All of her appearances have been starts. She gets Weatherall to swing and miss. The count is 1-2. 10-2 with a 1.91 earned run average. She has, however, thrown just one complete game on the season, so don't expect her to be out there for 11 innings like we saw on Tuesday night as Weatherall taps it backwards. Foul ball, still 1-2. In 69 2/3 innings, she's allowed 25 runs, 19 of them earned on 55 hits, with 39 strikeouts and 23 walks for the year. Opponents are batting just .214 off of Ashley Yatoni on the season. She misses high for ball two on Anna Weatherall. St. Ambrose has used 5 different pitchers this season, and of the 5, Ashley Yatoni actually has the highest ERA at 1.91. Shows how good the Bees pitching staff is. That one misses low, count 2-2. Or rather 3-2 now. Primarily Yatoni and Tina Pembroke are the 2 starting pitchers, with Ella Sprecht often coming out of the bullpen. That ball is flown out to center field, rather left field. Coming in making the catch is Lexi Carlston for out number 1. Good battle between Weatherall and Yatoni, but it's won by the senior pitcher. And now Brooke Carricker will step in. Bottom of the first inning, no score. No base runners yet. Carricker, the 5th hitter we've seen in this game. She's a .360 batter. 36 hits and 100 at-bats. Easy calculation there. She's second on the team with 4 home runs. Strike one called. Home runs will be tough to hit today on another cold day. The wind blowing in from center field. The sun out today. It's made it much more comfortable than we've seen in recent days. Ground ball weakly hit to third base, scooped up cleanly by Ryan Friend, who fires across the diamond for the second out. In fact, not a single cloud visible in the sky here in Joliet. So as long as that field is out in the sun, which it should be for the majority of Game 1, if not the entirety of Game 1, conditions are pretty comfortable. That could change when the sun sets and we start getting into Game 2. We'll deal with that when we get to it. Right now, pretty good conditions for a softball game. Allie Belandis is the batter, and she takes the first pitch for a strike. Belandis, one of the few Saints who had a good offensive game on Tuesday. She's got a .396 batting average for the year. 3 homers, 20 runs batted in. No chance to drive in any runs here unless she puts one out of the park. Instead, it's flown to shallow right center field. Moving into the gap and making the grab is Pembroke, and the inning is over. Like Morgan Derringer, Ashley Yatoni able to set them down in order in the first, and we'll move to inning number 2. No score, St. Francis and St. Ambrose. St. Francis against St. Ambrose here after one inning. The game is scoreless, and we've got a change in pitcher as Taylor Bars enters the game for Morgan Derringer. Bars on for the 13th time. It's her third relief appearance. 5-3 with a 3.52 ERA. In 55 2/3 innings, she's allowed 45 runs, 28 of them earned on 71 hits, with 33 strikeouts and 12 walks. Opponent sitting 298 against the junior Taylor Bars. She relieves Morgan Derringer, who is removed from a game for just the second time this year. 15 of her previous 16 starts have been complete games, and obviously in this case, not by design. First pitch thrown by Bars is smacked foul by Morgan Krieger for strike one. Derringer pitched just one inning. It was a 1-2-3 frame, so it was not a game situation that dictated the change, and hopefully everything's all right with Morgan Derringer. She has been outstanding again this year as a senior. Fouled away for strike two, 0-2 the count on Krieger, and that's one thing you'll see a lot of from Taylor Bars, a big-time strike thrower. Not nearly the strikeout stuff that Derringer has, 33 strikeouts in 55 innings. Derringer has 154 in 121 innings. Ball outside, 1-2. But Taylor Bars does not walk very many hitters. She gets ahead of just about everybody, and the question is then just putting them away. Trying to put away Krieger here. She misses low, 2-2. We're expecting another great pitchers duel today between a couple of teams' aces, Morgan Derringer and Ashley Yatoni. We still very well may see a pitchers duel, but not necessarily the one we expected. Two operatives short as Ashley Gallison throws over to first to retire Krieger. 4 up, 4 down against the St. Ambrose lineup so far today. St. Ambrose as a team came in hitting .295 for the year, averaging just about 4.2 runs per game. So not nearly as prolific offensively as the Saints or of some of the other teams that we've seen recently in CCAC play. First pitch is ball one outside to Lexi Carlston. Carlston, for her part, has been one of the best hitters on the team, .379. She's got 22 hits and 58 at-bats, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. Carlston hits it high in the air out to center field, sending Anna Wetherell back a bit, but it's playable for the center fielder who makes the catch. 2 down. Nice start for Taylor Bars in her first inning of work. St. Ambrose's strength is certainly their pitching staff, a 1.81 team ERA. But their offense certainly has got a few big hitters. We just saw one of them, Lexi Carlston. Now it's Ryan Friend taking ball one high. Friend batting just .229 this year, but she does lead the team in homers with 4. She takes a strike. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the second inning. Taylor Bars doing the pitching. She and Morgan Derringer have combined to retire the first 5 Bs. Hit down the right field line and foul out of play. Hits off the fence. Uncatchable for Paige Egan. The count is 1-2. Bars 1 strike away from putting away Friend and ending the inning. Saints wearing their white jersey tops today with brown bottoms, the inverse of what they wore a couple of days ago. St. Ambrose wearing the navy blue pants with the dark gray jersey tops. Big game today for both teams as there's a ball outside, 2-2. St. Francis defeated Olivet Nazarene in their solo game on Tuesday. It was supposed to be a doubleheader. Game 2 was postponed due to cold weather. Ball low, 3-2. And a win a couple of days ago, though, moved the Saints back into first place in the CCAC. St. Ambrose has been holding steady in third place. They are 3 games behind the Saints, but the meat of their schedule still in front of them. Foul tip, still 3-2. Like St. Francis, St. Ambrose has had to deal with some rotten weather this spring. They've had over 20 postponements on the year. There's a chopper up the middle. Gallison scoots in front of second base, picks it up and throws to first in time. Friend is retired, as are the Fighting Bees in the second inning. Nice work by Taylor Bars in her first inning in the ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the second. No score. 4, 5, and 6 up this inning for St. Francis. That means Kayla Garcia will lead things off. No score after an inning and a half. No base runners yet for either side. Garcia, Torzinski, and Gallison batting against Yatoni this inning. Senior right-hander. First pitch is a strike. Kayla Garcia has been the top hitter for the Saints this year, batting .430 with a whopping .747 slugging percentage. She's reached base in 55% of her plate appearances this year. She swings and misses here, though, and falls quickly behind, 0-2. Garcia's got 5 home runs, 26 RBIs. Both of those numbers lead the Fighting Saints. Set the St. Francis freshman record with her 11 homers last year. She takes the ball just off the outside corner, 1-2. 20 walks this season to go along with 34 hits. So she has been awfully good at getting to first base at least. She hits this one high in the air, but right at the center fielder. Pembroke is right there to make the grab. 3 of the first 4 batters have flown to the outfield. Tony has forced him to get under the balls early on, and Jensen Torzinski will bat with 1 out and no one on base. Torzinski's hitting .302 for the year. Strike 1 called. St. Francis as a team is batting .335. Still got 4 regulars who are hitting better than .350 for the year. So Torzinski with that .302 average actually is right in the middle of the pack, if not towards the bottom of their regular players in that category. She takes strike 2. 3 homers, 23 RBIs. Torzinski slugging .477 for the year. She takes the ball below the knees, 1-2. Now that Taylor Bars is pitching for St. Francis, you have 2 pitchers throwing who have similar games. Not a ton of strikeouts, but not a lot of walks. Weak contact to the right side, gloved on 1 bounce by the second baseman Balaguer, who throws to first to retire Torzinski. 5 straight retired by Yatoni. Yatoni has been a little bit better than Taylor Bars this season at limiting hits. She's given up only 55 of them in 69 2/3 innings. Now up over 70 innings after her start to today's game, 5 up, 5 down. Ashley Gallison pops it up. Left side on the infield, the shortstop Colleen Barrett makes the grab and ends the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame. We're still looking for our first base runner of the game as we move into the 3rd inning. Naturally scoreless. Madeline Thompson leads things off for the Bees in the top of the 3rd inning, facing Taylor Bars, the number 7 hitter for St. Ambrose. Comes up in a scoreless game. Right-handed hitter Thompson takes the first pitch. It's a strike. Madeline Thompson this season 328 hitter, 20 for 61. She's got 6 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs, and she's got a foul ball here and an 0-2 count. So far in the game, 12 batters have come up, 6 for each team. And 12 batters have been retired. Nobody's been able to reach base yet, but we have not seen a strikeout yet in this game. And there's the first one. Bars hits the outside corner, retiring Thompson. Strike 3. 7 up, 7 down against a pair of St. Francis pitchers. And that'll bring up Pika Johnson. 269 hitter, Caitlin Pika Johnson is the designated player in today's game. She has an 0-1 count on her. Occasionally used as a pitcher as well. She's the DP today, batting in place of the shortstop. She takes a ball high 1-1. Colleen Barrett is the shortstop for St. Ambrose, but not hitting. Their pitcher, Ashley Atoni, is in the lineup. All low, 2-1. Teams do occasionally do this, with Barrett, the shortstop, hitting just 163 and 43 at bats this year. Swing and a miss, 2-2. She's the one who ends up getting the half day off, playing only the field and not doing the hitting. Both of the pitchers on this team, both of the regular starting pitchers anyway, as Pika Johnson takes a ball outside, 3-2. That would be Ashley Atoni and Tina Pembroke. They're both very good hitters. Pembroke especially hitting .418 on the year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Taylor Bars. She's had an up and down season after really sparkling as a sophomore. She's had some trouble during conference season here, but having a great start to today's game. Fouled away to the right side for strike 1 on Ashley Atoni. And with the absence of Morgan Derringer now, and we're not entirely sure why she was removed from the game, but speculate going forward, Bars might have to work a little bit extra today as that ball's rolled right back to the pitcher. Bars shovels it over to first and ends the inning. 1-3 on the putout. 9 up, 9 down. 3 against Derringer, 6 against Bars, and a strong start from the St. Francis pitching staff. We'll head to the bottom of the third. St. Francis nothing, St. Ambrose nothing. It's the bottom of the St. Francis order, batting in the bottom of the third inning. We're scoreless. St. Francis and St. Ambrose locking up in a big conference battle. Haley Lemp, Caitlin Rolniak, Paige Egan due up for the Saints this inning against Ashley Atoni. Off to a really good start. She's retired all 6 batters, and she's ahead of Lemp, 0-1. St. Francis has the half-game lead right now on Olivet Nazarene in the conference. They're up 3 games on St. Ambrose, but St. Ambrose is not by any means out of the conference race. The 0-1 to Length misses high to even the count. And that is because the Fighting Bees prior to today had not seen either the Fighting Saints or the Olivet Nazarene Tigers yet this year. Those are the teams they have to beat to have any shot at finding themselves at the top of the conference. Hard grounder, but just foul past third base, 1-2. St. Ambrose will end the year with Olivet Nazarene. You'd figure the Fighting Bees to have any shot at winning the CCAC this year will probably have to go at least 3-1 against those 2 teams. meaning they need no worse than a split today to have any shot at winning the conference. So it's a big doubleheader. Haley Length takes the ball outside. The count evens once again, 2-2. Saints off to another tough start offensively after they did not score for the first 10 innings of their last game. Ground ball to short, picked up cleanly by Barrett, and Colleen Barrett's throw to first base is in time to retire Haley Length by about half a step. First out recorded in the third inning. So still no strikeouts for Ashley Yatoni, but she's retired 7 in a row. Here's Caitlin Rolniak. So the offensive numbers for the Saints have been dropping in recent contests, but a big part of that is the quality of pitching they're facing. CCAC has got a lot of good pitchers, including the one, in fact, the two we're seeing today. Strike one called on Caitlin Rolniak. Rolniak is hitting .241 for the year. She's got 13 hits and 13 runs scored. Trying to become the first base runner of this game. She slaps it down the third base line, but it's just foul. So she's behind 0-2. Both Rolniak and Lent just about a foot or so away from hits down the third base line in this inning. Lent's on the ground and Rolniak's in the air. Both of them drop, but just foul. So Yatoni is ahead of the Saints' number 8 hitter, 0-2. And Caitlin Rolniak takes the ball. Paige Egan stands in the on-deck circle. 1 out, nobody on, 1-2 count on the third baseman. Yatoni trying to put away her 8th in a row. She misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fighting Saints today are looking for their 6th consecutive win. And if they can pull it off, they'll be looking for their 7th consecutive win today as well. Rolniak hits it high in the air, well foul. Off to the left side, still 2-2. Their most recent loss came on April 8th against Cardinal Stritch. That was an 11-3 defeat. That was game 2 of a doubleheader, and it snapped what had been a 7-game winning streak. All 3 on Rolniak. Outside of Kayla Garcia, Rolniak is the best on the team at drawing walks. She's drawn 12 of them this season. And she fell behind here 0-2, but has worked it full. Smacked down the left field line, and that is another foul ball. Just barely foul that time. Inches away from the line. And that would have surely gone for extra bases for Rolniak, but instead she'll have to stand back in the box with a 3-2 count, ready to see an 8th pitch from Ashley Yatoni. Fly ball this time into right center field and playable. Catch is made by Julie Trelicoso, the right fielder. 2 down. Rolniak just missed 2 hits to left field in that at-bat, off by about a foot the first time, and just inches away from fair ground on her 2nd solid hit of the at-bat, but ultimately she flies out harmlessly to right. And Paige Egan is the Saints' last hope in the 3rd. First pitch to Egan is taken for strike 1. Paige Egan, a slap hitter, batting .250 for the season. She's 12 for 48 with 2 RBIs. Just 1 extra base hit this year for Egan. It was a triple. She takes a head start, but watches that one miss low for ball 1. Count is even. No score in the bottom of the 3rd. We're still looking for the game's first base runner. Popped up left field, stepping in to make the catch is Lexi Carlston. And the inning is over. Another 1-2-3 frame worked by Ashley Yatoni. We'll head to the 4th. No score. We've played 3 out of our 7 innings here in game 1, and not only have we not seen any runs scored, we haven't seen anybody on base. Second time through the order, St. Ambrose will try to change that. Julie Trelicoso leads off, shows bunt, and whacks at it instead, rolling it over to short. Picked up by Ashley Gallison, but no chance to make a throw. It's an infield hit for Julie Trelicoso, and the first hit of the game, first base runner of the game for either side. And it comes on a swinging bunt to the shortstop, but that's something that Julie Trelicoso does well. She runs extremely well. And she took advantage of it right there, and now you really have to watch out for her. She leads the conference with 20 stolen bases. Bunted up in the air, a pop-up to third. Caitlin Rolniak makes the catch, and Meg Balaguer is retired. Saints catch a break there on a bad bunt from Balaguer. First out recorded, Trelicoso stuck at first base, and the batter is Tina Pembroke. Pembroke the leading hitter at .418, .637 slugging percentage. Tough hitter for Taylor Bars, and she misses outside for ball 1. Pembroke flew out to left field in the first inning. She's 0 for 1. Pembroke is tied for the team lead with 16 RBIs. She's got 14 extra base hits, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers. There's a strike called. It's 1-1. Trelicoso runs well enough that anything hit down the line or into the gap, good chance for her to score. The way that Ashley Yatoni has pitched so far today, Saints can ill afford to go down by even 1 run. There's a swing and a miss. Chased one a little bit high, and the count is 1-2. Trelicoso's been stationary at first base so far. 20 steals in 26 attempts this year. Ball high. Count is 2-2, and Trelicoso took a good secondary lead there, but did not take off for second base. Two balls, 2 strikes on Pembroke. There's strike 3, the throw down to second base. Trelicoso slides in safely. So she does pick up her 21st steal of the year, but Pembroke strikes out, the 3rd strikeout of the game for Taylor Bars, and there are 2 down in the inning for Krieger. Krieger is 0 for 1. She grounded out to shortstop, and here she fouls it straight back. Strike 1. Fouled to the right side this time, quickly 0-2. Taylor Bars facing Krieger for the 2nd time. Trelicoso, Balaguer, and Pembroke were each facing her for the 1st time. She started the 2nd inning, so she's seen the rest of the lineup at least once now. Ball outside, 1-2. The only base runner allowed by either Taylor Bars or Morgan Derringer, who started and lasted just 1 inning, is Julie Trelicoso. She reached on the infield single earlier this inning and is at second right now as Krieger tips it to keep the count 1-2. St. Francis has won 12 of their last 13 games. They've won 11 of 12 in conference. Bouncer back to the pitcher, bobbled by Bars. She gathers, throws to first, and makes the play in time. So a slight juggle there, but it all worked out for the best as she pitches around a leadoff single. Trelicoso stranded at second base. We're halfway through this game. We finally have a base runner, but still no score. It's the bottom of the fourth inning, and St. Francis will send the top of their order up for the second time against Ashley Atoni, Anna Wetherill, Brooke Carricker, and Allie Belandis. Saints still looking for their first base runner. We've seen a lot of zeros on the scoreboard these last few days in Joliet. 1-0, St. Francis beat Olivet Nazarene on Tuesday in 11 innings. And today we start out scoreless through 3 as Anna Wetherill takes strike 1. She flew out on a 3-2 pitch to left field in the first inning. Wetherill entered play today as a .380 batter. Strike called, it's 0-2. Wetherill's got 10 extra base hits this year, 5 doubles, 4 triples. She's the big speedster at the top of the St. Francis lineup. She takes the ball high. We saw Julie Coso try to spark a rally in the top half of this inning. She's the leadoff hitter and the speedster for St. Ambrose. She reached on an infield single, stole second base, but was stranded there. Ball low, 2-2. If Wetherill gets on base, keep in mind that she's 12 for 12 in stolen base attempts this year. So this is one of the key members of the Fighting Saints lineup that Atoni wants to retire. Not on that pitch, it's fouled back. Wetherill's put together some good at-bats, though she has had nothing to show for it. She went out to left field on the 7th pitch of her first inning at-bat, and she'll see a 6th pitch here in this one. Fouled back once again. The Saints now have scored just 1 run over their last 14 innings of offense. That was after they put a 16 spot on the board April 13th in a big win against Judson. Ball 3 high, full count. So they scored 16 in one game, and then the next 2, 1 run over 14 innings. Still plenty of time left in this one to get it going. This is just the 3rd batter today to see a 3-ball count from Ashley Atoni. One of the previous ones was Anna Wetherill. Neither of them reached base. We'll see if that changes here. Payoff pitch. Ground ball right side, picked up at second base by Balaguer. She tosses to first, and Wetherill's retired. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Brooke Carricker, senior second baseman. She's played all 4 years here at St. Francis, the first couple of them in the outfield. She has been their everyday starter at second this year. Ball 1 high on Carricker. Ashley Atoni is a pitcher who's walked 23 this year in 69 2/3 innings, but none so far in this game. Saints are trying to find their way on base any way they can as Atoni starts to get a little bit wild and misses up and away, 2-0. 5 of her 10 pitches this inning have missed the strike zone. Still, though, there is 1 out and nobody on base, so she's getting the job done. She finds the zone on that pitch. It's 2-1 on Brooke Carricker. Allie Belandis waits on deck, and if anybody reaches, it'll be Kayla Garcia. Scary proposition there for Ashley Atoni. Working to come back to get Carricker here with 1 out. The 2-1 pitch. Liner to the right side, a base hit for Brooke Carricker. First time either team has hit the ball solidly into the outfield in this game. It's just the 2nd total hit and the 1st for St. Francis. Carricker is aboard with 1 down in the bottom of the 4th for Allie Belandis. Belandis is 0 for 1. She flew out to center field in the first inning. Nice hit for Brooke Carricker. Slapping it to the right side. It was Carricker who came up with the game winner on Tuesday night. A ground ball right up the middle. And here she's got another single, this time to the right side, just out of the reach of Meg Balaguer, who laid out for it. Couldn't pull it in. Belandis swings at the first pitch, hits it high into the left field corner, foul territory and out of play. Strike 1 on Allie Belandis. Like Anna Wetherill, Brooke Carricker over at first base runs well, but unlike Wetherill, she's not one to steal too many bases. She's only attempted 1 this year it was successful. But again, not a big stolen base threat. Really, Weatherall the only one who is on St. Francis. There's a strike called. Count is 0-2. Tony back on track after missing the zone on 5 of her first 10 pitches this inning. She's thrown 4 consecutive strikes. One of them was hit into right field. But 2 of them have set up Allie Belandis 0-2. Belandis swings and fouls it off to the right. Out of play. Belandis second on the team with her .396 average coming in. She was just 1 hit at the start of the day from popping that batting average up over 400. She'll need a couple now. After flying out to center her first time up, she takes a ball. Quick throw down to first base made by Madeline Thompson, but no chance to get Carricker. 1-2 is the count. Runner stays at first base with 1 out. St. Francis trying to break a scoreless tie just past the midway point of this game. Landis takes ball 2 and the count is even. Good at bat for the senior. Saints have put together a few good at bats this inning. 2-2 pitch. Ball high. Belandis has come back to work it full. It was 0-2 at one point. Another full count. This is the second one of the inning. Tony has thrown 18 pitches this inning. She's already been out on the field longer than she had been in any of the first 3. She's gotten just 1 out. Belandis flies it out to left field. St. Ambrose looking for out number 2, and they've got it as Lexi Carlston makes the catch. Second time that Belandis has flown out today, and Brooke Carricker has to return to first base with 2 down for Kayla Garcia. Garcia is another Saints batter who fell quickly behind 0-2 in the second inning. Ashley Atoni has been working from ahead in the count pretty much all evening. She eventually got Garcia to fly out to shallow center field. First pitch, she checks her swing and it misses low for ball 1. Brooke Carricker singled to right field with 1 out. First hit of the game for the Saints. She's still at first. Kayla Garcia takes the strike. It's 1-1. Game 1 of a doubleheader this evening. Game 2 to follow just about a half hour after this one. And it's the penultimate home doubleheader of the season for St. Francis. Ball outside. 2-1. They've got 2 games next Tuesday night against Robert Morris. That would be their last home doubleheader. The conference tournament starts the following week. Strike in at the knees, and now it's 2-2. It's been a very long inning for Ashley Atoni, but she's got the potential to end it with just 1 more pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kayla Garcia with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Garcia smacks it into center field, but it hangs up there for Tina Pembroke, who comes on to make the grab. Garcia couldn't have hit it much harder, but right at Pembroke. And the Saints are not able to capitalize off their first hit of the game. Carricker stranded at first base. We move to the 5th, 0-0. Left fielder Lexi Carlston leads off the 5th inning for St. Ambrose. Bees and the Saints have traded zeros so far. Carlston takes ball 1 from Taylor Bars. Bars came on in the 2nd inning, and she's allowed just 1 base runner over her 3 innings in the game thus far. Strike over the outside edge, 1-1. Carlston is 0 for 1. She flew out to center field her first time up back in the 2nd inning. Facing Bars for the 2nd time. She swings and misses. It's 1-2. Taylor Bars has picked up 3 strikeouts in today's game. She's retired 3 in a row. The only one to reach against her thus far, Julie Trelicoso, picked up an infield single last inning. There's a slow roller right at Jensen Torzinski. An easy play for the first baseman. Steps on the bag as she picks up the ball for the first out. That's 5 groundouts recorded by Taylor Bars so far. 5 groundouts, 3 strikeouts. There's been a pop-up on the infield as well. Ryan Friend takes ball 1. And in fact, the hit was on the infield, so of the 11 batters she's now faced, only 1 has hit it into the outfield. Ryan Friend grounds it to second base. Brooke Carricker has an easy play, 4-3, 2 down. She's taken just 6 pitches to record 2 outs. Now it's up to the catcher, Madeline Thompson. Thompson struck out looking to begin the 3rd inning, the first of the 3 strikeouts that Bars has recorded thus far. She's 0 for 1, and she takes ball 1 outside here. Bars' next pitch to Thompson. Swung on and lifted into right field. That's going to drop. Drops in front of Paige Egan for a base hit. Took a tough hop on Egan, and she did a nice job to stick out her right hand and knock the ball down on 1 bounce and keep it in front of her. That ball, after that tricky hop that it took, had scooted past her. Thompson would be standing on at least second base right now. As it is, she stops at first. It's a single. First hit into the outfield for St. Ambrose. It's just our 3rd combined hit of the game. They've all been singles. There's Kaiten Pika Johnson fouling off the first pitch to the right side for strike 1. Pika Johnson 0 for 1. She struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Batting with a runner on base this time. Foul tipped. It's 0-2. It is just a runner at first with 2 outs, but every base runner is cause for a little bit of nervousness right now just because of the way this game has gone. We're already in the 5th inning. Next run could win it. Ball outside, 1-2. If Pika Johnson reaches, the pitcher Yatoni will bat next. If not, we move into the bottom of the 5th. Fly ball out to center field. It's playable for Anna Weatherall, who takes a few steps to her right, makes the catch, and ends the inning. Bees hit the ball a little bit harder that inning than we've seen, but it results in just a single and a runner left at first base. So as we head to the bottom of the 5th, our score remains St. Francis 0, St. Ambrose 0. 5, 6, and 7 due up for St. Francis. Bottom of the fifth, Jensen Torzinski, Ashley Gallison, and Haley Length will bat against Ashley Yatoni, who has gone 4 innings so far and has allowed just 1 base runner. Brooke Carricker, who singled in the 4th. Jensen Torzinski's 0 for 1. She grounded out to second base her first time up, and she takes strike 1 on the first pitch of the 5th inning. We're scoreless in the bottom of the 5th. Ashley Yatoni has been magnificent for St. Ambrose. Taylor Bars has been just as good for St. Francis. Tapped foul by Torzinski, 0-2. So a good pitcher's count here. Yatoni's still looking for her first strikeout of the game. I mentioned at the start of it that she's been very good this year, but not a big strikeout pitcher. 39 of them in 69 innings. Still, we're talking about better than a strikeout per 2 innings. So it's a little bit surprising that she's been as good as she has today without fanning anybody. Ball outside, 1-2. Torzinski hitting just over 300 coming in, trying to keep the average above that mark. She takes the ball outside. It's 2-2. We're just approaching the 1 hour mark of this game. Sun still shining. Fly ball hit by Torzinski, high in the air, shallow center field, playable for Pembroke. And she puts the squeeze on it for out number 1. It's good to see a lot of players wearing visors today. That's usually a sign of a sunny day. Most of the time this season they've been replaced by earmuffs. Ashley Yatoni, the pitcher, is actually wearing a full baseball cap as opposed to the visor that most of her teammates have on. She takes a walk towards the rubber and gets set to face Ashley Gallison, 0 for 1 with a pop out to the shortstop. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to Gallison misses up and away. A rare first pitch ball. Gallison is ahead in the count. Trying to reach base in front of the bottom of the order and get a little something going on the offensive side here in the bottom of the 5th. That's a ball low and a 2-0 count. Good start for Ashley Gallison. .330 hitter. Gallison's got some power with 6 doubles and a home run this year. She hits this one deep out to center field, but Pembroke is under it. And Tina Pembroke makes her second consecutive putout. Back-to-back flyouts to center. In fact, going back to last inning, 3 straight outs have been recorded by Pembroke. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th, 4th time in 5 innings that Yatoni has retired the first 2 batters. She's retired the leadoff hitter in every inning. Here's Haley Length, 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. First pitch comes in at the ankles for ball 1. Length is trying to keep the inning alive for Caitlin Rolniak, who swings on deck. Strike call. It's 1-1. Yatoni steps back atop the rubber, readies herself for the 1-1 pitch, delivers it to Length, who grounds it to third base. Picked up cleanly by Friend, who throws it across for the 3rd out. Quick 1-2-3 worked by St. Ambrose. And we've played 5 full innings. Still no score in Joliet. Ashley Yatoni is the batter for St. Ambrose as we begin the 6th inning. Yatoni and then back to the top of the order. First pitch swung on and flown out to right field. Paige Egan on the run, can't make the play. It rolls down past the fence as Egan chases it into the corner. Yatoni around second, heads to third with a leadoff triple. First pitch of the 6th inning. St. Ambrose has their first runner to third base today. First time either team has had a runner at third base. Yatoni just 60 feet away from breaking this tie with nobody out in the top of the order coming up. Paige Egan misjudged that ball off the bat. The fly ball to deep right field. She started in on it. Took just one step, but that cost her. If she had gotten a better jump on it, would have been easy catch, but she had a late start, got back and still got her glove up, just came up a little bit short as it tipped off the glove and dropped for the triple. Julie Trelicoso takes strike one. Just needs to make some contact here to potentially get this run in. She pops it up, shallow left field. That ball drops in fair territory, just inside the line. Heading for second, Trelicoso's got an RBI double. Yatoni scores easily, and St. Ambrose has our first score of the game. It's 1-0 Bees. That's a big run for St. Ambrose. It comes just 3 pitches into the inning, back-to-back extra base hits. Strike one called on the number 2 hitter, Meg Balaguer. Balaguer is 0 for 2. She's popped out to first, and on a bunt her last time up, she popped out to third. She's looking to bunt again here. Pulls the bat back, swings, and pops it up to the right side of the infield. Brooke Carricker backs up and makes the catch. That's a huge first out recorded by Taylor Bars. So Balaguer so far today has been unable to get the runners over. And now it's Tina Pembroke. 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. She takes ball one. It was Ashley Yatoni who tripled to lead off the inning. And she came in to score the run, so now she's scored 1 run and given up 0. She's had a pretty nice day for the Fighting Bees. Ball low, 2-0. Saints are on a 6-game winning streak. 2 of those 6 wins have come by 1-0 scores. So they are certainly not afraid to play in these tight, low-scoring games. Fly ball out to center field. Anna Weatherall backs up, makes the catch. Trelicoso tags from second, but does not try to advance. And a perfect throw from Weatherall into third makes it a good decision by Trelicoso. 2 outs. Trelicoso had the bloop RBI double earlier in the inning. Dropped just inside the left field line. Scoring Yatoni. And now Krieger takes ball 1 low. Morgan Krieger has grounded out twice against Taylor Bars, once to short, once to the pitcher. Batting for the 3rd time. Runner in scoring position. And a big runner as St. Ambrose tries to add a little insurance. 2-0 now on Krieger. Rolniak, Egan, and Weatherall due up for the Saints in the bottom of the inning. Facing Ashley Yatoni, who's allowed only 1 hit so far. 3-0 is the count on the first baseman, Krieger. Lexi Carlston waits on deck, hoping for a chance this inning. Bars fires in a strike. It's 3-1. Julie Trelicoso can really fly over at second base. There's ball 4. There are 2 on. In fact, Trelicoso flew into second base on that double. It looked like a single base hit off the bat, if indeed it landed fair, which it just barely did. But she made it into second easily. She's got 21 stolen bases this season, including 1 earlier today. And now we'll get a pinch runner at first base. Sydney Engelhardt comes on for St. Ambrose. Engelhardt running at first, Trelicoso at second, and Lexi Carlston is the batter. Carlston is 0 for 2. She flew to center in the 2nd inning, grounded out to first last inning. 1-0 St. Ambrose. They've broken a scoreless tie here in the top of the 6th. That ball driven out to center field, but right at Wetherell, who barely has to move to make the grab and end the inning. But a big inning for St. Ambrose. Big, a relative term in this case, but it's the first run of the game. And it scores on a triple from Yatoni and an RBI double from Trelicoso. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Saints have some work to do. They trail 1-0. St. Francis comes up in the bottom of the sixth, trailing for the first time today. It's 1-0. Kaylin Rolniak, Paige Egan, Anna Wetherell due to hit against Ashley Yatoni, who just scored the game's first and to this point only run in the top half of this inning. Rolniak out in front of the first pitch, strike one. Caitlin's 0 for 1. She flew to right field her first time up. Ashley Yatoni set to deliver the next pitch. Ground ball, left side of the infield, picked up by the shortstop Barrett. Her throw to first is in the dirt, but a nice pick by Morgan Krieger for out number 1. Krieger walked in the top half of the sixth. She was pinch run for, but re-entered the game in the bottom of the inning to get back on defense. Here's Paige Egan. Egan is 0 for 1. She popped out to shallow left field. This time she bunts third base side. Tough play for Friend. Throw to first, not in time. Very close play at first base. Egan dropped down a good bunt, but Ryan Friend was ready for it. She was playing well in at third. Charged that one, gloved it quickly, fired to first. Tie goes to the runner. Egan just barely beats it out for the Saints' second hit of the game. Tying run is aboard with 1 out in the sixth, and here's Anna Wetherell. Wetherell had a big bunt single in the game on Tuesday night, helped lead to the 1-run scoring in the bottom of the 11th inning. She shows a bunt here, but pulls the bat back and takes strike one. Because of her good speed, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Anna Wetherell drop one down here. But with 1 out rather than nobody out, she very well could be swinging away. If there were no outs right now, she would certainly be bunting. As it is, she takes the ball, and the count is 1-1. She has shown bunt on the first 2 pitches, but she's taken them both. Anna's 0 for 2. She flew out to left field in the first. Grounded out to second in the fourth. 1-1. She does bunt, but it's foul. So now behind in the count 1-2, she may be forced to swing away. Paige Egan is at first base after the bunt hit. Egan's got excellent speed, but has only attempted 3 stolen bases this year. She's been successful on 2 of them. Wetherell swinging away on 1-2, fouls it back. Count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ashley Yatoni has pitched a gem so far, but remember, she only has 1 complete game all season. So she's not accustomed to going much deeper into the game than this. Fouled back behind home plate. It's still 1-2. Another good at bat for Anna Wetherell. She has really worked the count today and kept herself alive with 2 strike foul balls. Yatoni has actually averaged just under 5 innings per appearance this season. All of them have been starts. She's over 5 innings in this game as that ball misses high, 2-2. 5 1/3 so far. St. Ambrose does have an ace reliever, Ella Specht, who has 5 saves this season. Certainly could come on if Yatoni runs into any more trouble here in this game. Wetherell files another one back. It's still 2-2. She saw 8 pitches in her last at-bat, 7 in her first one. This will be the 8th in this sequence, with Paige Egan at first base and 1 out, and the Saints trailing by a run in the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-2. It has been for a while now. Popped up left side down the line, and another foul ball. That's her 4th 2-strike foul. Wetherell keeping this at-bat going. Brooke Carricker, who prior to Egan's bunt single had the only hit of the day for the Saints, is taking her swings on deck. Popped up left side foul ground. This one may be playable, and it will drop out of play. So the at-bat goes on for Anna Wetherell. Ryan Friend chased that ball towards the dugout. Reached over the gate to the dugout. The gate was still hanging open, so she ran into it. She pushed it, and that may have cost her any chance at making the play because she didn't have any firm base to grab onto. It's a little off balance as she tried to make the catch over the fence. Still 2-2 on Wetherell. Here's the 10th pitch. It's popped up, foul ground, but this time playable. Catch is made by Thompson, the catcher, and there's your second out of the inning. Great battle between Wetherell and Yatoni that time, and it goes to the pitcher. 2 down. Egan's still at first. She represents the tying run with the Saints trailing 1-0. And it's up to Brooke Carricker to keep this 6th inning alive. Brooke is 1 for 2 with a 4th inning single. She takes a big cut at this one, but misses for strike 1. Haven't seen a lot of swings and misses. Yatoni, through 5 2/3 now shutout innings, still does not have a strikeout. She's allowed only 2 hits. Carricker takes the ball up and away. Throw down to first base by Thompson. Does not catch Egan napping. The count is 1-1. St. Francis trying to come from behind and move to 4 games ahead of St. Ambrose in the conference standings. These need a win here, at least 1. They could sure go for 2. Ball low and in on Carricker, 2-1. Doubleheader sweep for St. Ambrose would move them to within 1 game of St. Francis, although Olivet Nazarene is 2.5 games ahead of the Bees at the start of play today as well. Ball outside, 3-1. So Carricker in the driver's seat in this at-bat. Allie Belandis waits on deck. If Carricker can reach, Paige Egan would move up into scoring position for Belandis, unless Carricker can drive Egan in herself. She fouls it back on that swing. Count is full. Another long inning for Ashley Yatoni, but so far she has gotten the best of the Fighting Saints hitters. Paige Egan reached first base on a 1-out bunt single. She's still at first. 2 outs. 3-2 on Brooke Carricker, trying to keep the inning alive for Allie Belandis. Carricker does keep the inning alive. She takes ball 4 high, and the Saints, for the first time today, have a runner in scoring position. It comes with 2 outs, but Egan is at second base. Carricker's at first. Good speed on the base paths. A slugger coming up, Allie Belandis, the catcher and number 3 hitter, who has flown out twice, once to center field and once to left. A base hit from Belandis could tie the game. An extra base hit could give the Saints the lead. And it looks like that's going to be all for Ashley Yatoni. Yatoni was outstanding today in 5 2/3 innings, but after issuing her first walk, they will call on their relief ace, Ella Specht, I assume, is the pitcher coming in. Haven't gone to look at the number yet, but Ella Specht is their primary relief pitcher. Top 5 nationally with her 5 saves this season. Tony, again, is a pitcher who, as good as she is not typically going to finish a game, and so today is no exception. Ron Farrell tried to get her through the 6th inning, but couldn't quite finish it off, getting just the 2 outs. So it is Ella Specht coming on now. Specht is 4-4 with a 1.88 ERA this year. Again, 5 saves, most in the conference, among the best in the nation. She has started 5 games as well, but this is her 16th appearance out of the bullpen. In 59 2/3 innings, she's allowed 22 runs, 16 of them earned on 50 hits, 33 strikeouts to 25 walks. She's allowed just a .219 opponent's average. You heard that strikeout to walk ratio of 33 to 25. She has put some batters on base this year. Saints would like to see that in this case. Ashley Yatoni, 5 2/3 innings. Has not allowed a run, but the 2 runners on base are her responsibility. She allowed just 2 hits and 1 walk, no strikeouts. Looks like at least one other defensive change for St. Ambrose here, along with the pitcher Ella Specht. They have called in their left fielder Lexi Carlston, and Logan Frericks, freshman from St. Joseph, Illinois, has taken her position. So Logan Frericks is in left field. Most importantly right now, Allie Belandis is in the batter's box. Ella Specht is in the pitching circle. Paige Egan's at second base, and Brooke Carricker is at first. St. Francis trails 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And this could be their best chance to score today. It's certainly their best so far. It's the first time they've had anybody in scoring position. Belandis is 3rd on the club with 20 RBIs this year. Number 21 right here would be enormous. And Paige Egan, who is at second base, runs extremely well, so she'll be going on contact with 2 outs. Any hit from Belandis would likely score Egan, as long as it gets through the infield. One more thing apparently getting cleared up before we're able to continue. It's Amanda Jensen right now talking with the umpire. I don't believe any substitutions are imminent. You wouldn't expect her to remove anybody involved in this case, with Egan at second, Carricker at first, and Belandis in the batter's box. And we're ready to go again. Ella Specht into the game to pitch. Freshman from Cole Valley, Illinois. Specht making a name for herself for St. Ambrose in her first collegiate year. Tall right-hander delivers ball 1 low to Belandis. Specht has started 5 games, but again, primarily a reliever. Tina Pembroke and Ashley Yatoni have been their big starters this year. Fouled back by Belandis, and the count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yatoni, who pitched this first game, and Pembroke, who will likely pitch game 2, are both upperclassmen, a senior and a junior respectively. Belandis fouls the next one away. It's 1-2. So Specht is kind of cutting her teeth this year as a reliever, but I would imagine she's being groomed to be one of their primary starters in the next couple of seasons. Saints are down to their final strike of the inning. The 1-2 to Belandis. Misses high. Count evens at 2. Been a dramatic inning for the Saints offensively. They've had some really good at-bats here, fighting with 2 strikes. Anna Wetherell kept her at-bat alive for 10 pitches after initially falling behind. Belandis grounds it to short. Diving stop Barrett. She does not have a play. Everybody is safe. Paige Egan stops at third base. And they're loaded. Carricker into second. Belandis is safe at first on an infield single. Nice effort by Colleen Barrett. She dove to her left, tried to flip it backhanded from the ground to Meg Balaguer, who was covering second base but didn't really get a grip on the ball and ended up just kind of rolling it over to Balaguer. Carricker easily slid in safely. So they're loaded for the best hitter on the team, Kayla Garcia. And Garcia takes the first pitch for strike one. Tying runs at third base. The go-ahead run is at second. Kayla Garcia's 0 for 2 today. She's hit the ball hard but flown out to center twice. Garcia takes a big cut but doesn't make big contact. Tapped foul. 0-2. St. Francis, for the third time this inning, is down to their final strike. Specht trying to put away Kayla Garcia. Ground ball up the middle and over second base into center. 1 run scores. Here comes Carricker. The throw is late. It's a 2-run single for Kayla Garcia. She'll take second base on the throw, and St. Francis has overcome this deficit and taken a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. On an 0-2 count, Kayla Garcia comes up big. And the Saints have their first lead of the evening. And that's the first ball that they have hit this inning out of the infield. A bunt single for Egan, a walk for Carricker. Infield hit for Allie Belandis. And now the 2-run base hit for Kayla Garcia gives St. Francis 2 runs and an advantage. For Garcia, RBIs number 27 and 28 on her 35th hit of the season. And now she will depart a hero. New runner on base for St. Francis. It's Rachel Andretti. So it's Belandis at third, Andretti at second. And Jensen Torzinski in the box. Torzinski's 0 for 2. She grounded out to second base in the second inning. Popped out to center field her last time up. And now trying to give the Saints some insurance. Ball 1 high on Torzinski. Both of those runs that scored were charged to the starter, Ashley Yatoni. 2 runs allowed in 5 2/3 innings, her final line. Both of them earned. Strike called on Torzinski, 1-1. The last 3 batters for the Saints have all been behind in the count. They've all gone to 2 strikes. But all 3 of them have reached to keep the inning alive and allow the Saints to score twice. Torzinski pops it up, right side foul. That ball drops. Foul ball, 1-2 on Torzinski, but she's still alive. The 4th consecutive hitter to see a 2-strike count with 2 outs. The Saints, though, have still not struck out yet. St. Francis now just 3 outs away from a win. Taylor Bars will try to finish it off, presumably in the top of the 7th inning. Question is, how big will the lead be? Torzinski trying to make it multiple runs, but she strikes out swinging and ends the bottom of the 6th. First strikeout of the game for the St. Ambrose pitching staff, but it comes after the Saints score 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a pair on base, but as we head to the 7th, it's St. Francis 2, St. Ambrose 1. Top of the 7th inning, St. Ambrose trying to erase a 1-run deficit. And Taylor Bars trying to get 3 more outs, but the first pitch is roped out to right center field for a base hit. Ryan Friend rounds first, tries for second, and makes it in standing up with a double. Good start for the Bees here in the 7th as they put the tying run in scoring position on the very first pitch. For Ryan Friend, the second double of the season. And now Madeline Thompson, the number 7 hitter and catcher, bats against Taylor Bars for the 3rd time. Thompson struck out looking her first time up. She singled her last time around, and she'll try to advance the runner here. First pitch from Bars. Thompson swings away and fouls it back for strike 1. Taylor Bars has been out there since the start of the 2nd inning. She retired 11 of the first 12 batters she faced, but has had a little bit more trouble since then. 5 of the last 9 have reached. Thompson takes the ball high, 1-1. It'll be interesting to see what the Saints do pitching-wise in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Still not entirely sure what happened to Morgan Derringer, but you'd figure if she were able to pitch, she would be pitching. There's a bunt, and it's right in front of the plate, picked up by Belandis, who makes the play nicely, throwing to first for the out. But it's a successful sacrifice for Madeline Thompson. Tying run, Ryan Friend stands at 3rd base with 1 out for Katin Pika Johnson. K-A-T-Y-N. A hyphenated last name, Pika, P-I-C-A, and then Johnson. Conference and the pitcher's circle before her at bat. So Bars has pitched 5 1/3 innings here in Game 1. She is candidate to start Game 2 as well. Derringer is not able to go. They could also go with Jensen Torzinski, who has started 2 games this year. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First thing is first, and that's finishing this thing off. Tying run at 3rd base. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Bars is 2 outs away from picking up the win, but the Saints have a runner 60 feet away from extending it a little longer. First pitch to Pika Johnson is taken for strike 1. Pika Johnson has struck out once, and this is a case here where Bars can very much use a strikeout. She has 3 of them, but none since the 4th inning. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Bars 1 strike away from a huge second out. The left-hander delivers. Popped up foul and out of play. This game was scoreless for the longest time. It wasn't until the top of the 6th that anybody scored. And it happened lightning quick in the top of the 6th inning. Ashley Atoni tripled, and then Julie Trelicoso doubled her in. Ball low, nearly got by Belandis, but the senior catcher did a good job there of keeping it from rolling too far away. Just about a foot or so behind her. She was able to stick with it and not allow Friend to score. Now the 1-2. Popped up, right field foul, and out of play. Trelicoso actually stood at 2nd base with nobody out last inning as St. Ambrose looked to make it a big inning. They had to settle for just the 1 run. And then St. Francis answered by scoring 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th to take the lead. That's where we stand right now. Liner foul to the right side. Hard hit ball by Pika Johnson, but she pushed it too far beyond the line. Still behind in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But she has kept the at-bat alive with 3 consecutive 2-strike foul balls. Taylor Bars just not quite able to put her away yet. Another 1-2. Another foul ball. This would be a big win for St. Francis with their star pitcher going out after just 1 inning and going up against a very tough pitcher for the opposition. Ground ball right back to Taylor Bars. The pitcher gloves it and throws to first in time for the 2nd out, forcing the runner to stay at 3rd base. 2 down in the inning, and now the Saints are 1 out away from wrapping it up. And let's see who comes to bat. It will be Ashley Atoni. Atoni was removed from the game last inning. She was the pitcher, remember, and she came out with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. It was the reliever, Ellis Specht, who allowed the 2 runs to score. They were charged to Yatoni, but they scored with Specht in as the pitcher. But Specht won't bat. It will be Ashley Yatoni coming back in. Yatoni came up with a huge triple last inning that got the scoring started. She's 1 for 2. She's also tapped out to the pitcher. On the season, Ashley Yatoni is a .286 hitter, and she's got 7 RBIs. If she can pick up number 8 right here, we'll be back to square one with a 2-2 tie. However, if Taylor Bars is able to retire the senior pitcher, St. Francis will have their 7th consecutive victory. First pitch to Yatoni, taken outside for ball 1. And again, the Saints kind of had their backs against the wall just a little bit. Facing Yatoni, who has been excellent all year for St. Ambrose, and without Morgan Derringer. But they still find themselves just 1 out away from a victory. And now just 2 more strikes as Yatoni takes one for a 1-1 count. Game 2 still coming up after this one. St. Francis trying to earn at least a split with this 1 more out. Ball low, 2-1. As I've mentioned a few times already, this is a big game and a huge doubleheader for St. Ambrose. They need nothing less than a split to stay in contention for the conference crown. There's a ground ball back to Bars. She has it, flips to first, and there's your ball game. Great work by Taylor Bars. She comes out of the bullpen, throws 6 one-run innings, and pitches around a leadoff double in the 7th to finalize this one. 2-1, St. Francis defeats St. Ambrose in game 1 of a doubleheader. And this was a very exciting game and a great team win for St. Francis. Well pitched by Taylor Bars, and credit to Morgan Derringer as well. Her 1 inning went 1-2-3. And the offense had some trouble against a fine pitcher on the other side, but they came up big in the clutch in the bottom of the 6th inning. In fact, all of the scoring occurred in the 6th after both pitchers were lights out through 5. In the top of the 6th, St. Ambrose scored the first run on an Ashley Yatoni triple, and then Julie Trelicoso RBI double made it 1-0. Trelicoso stood at second base with nobody out, but they had to settle for just the 1 run as Bars buckled in and had a nice inning following that, retiring the 2, 3, and 5 hitters. In the bottom of the 6th, the Saints got their 2 runs with a bunt single starting the rally from Paige Egan. And then with 2 outs and Egan standing at first base, Brooke Carricker walked. Allie Belanis' infield single loaded the bases, and 2 runs scored on a Kayla Garcia base hit up the middle, giving St. Francis the only 2 runs they would need in a 2-1 victory over St. Ambrose. Winning pitcher is Taylor Bars. She threw 6 one-run innings out of the bullpen. Bars improves to 6-3, 6-3 for Taylor Bars on the season. Losing pitcher Ashley Yatoni pitched very well, allowing 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. She falls to 10-3. With the win, St. Francis now 23-6 overall, 12-1 in conference. St. Ambrose falls to 21-10 overall, 7-4 in the CCAC. We've got one more game coming up. It'll start presumably just after 7 o'clock Central Time. St. Francis and St. Ambrose going back at it. And we'll wait to see what the lineups and the pitching matchup are for that game. We'll get that to you just after the top of the hour, and then first pitch coming your way as well. But for now, I'm going to sign off. St. Francis defeats St. Ambrose 2-1. I'll be back for game 2. Until then, Terry Bonadonna signing off for the moment.